All right. Indy at Atlanta. This one is heartbreaking from a contest point of view, but kudos to Simon. You nailed this one on Sunday night. You liked Atlanta +2. It totally makes sense. They were off a terrible, ugly loss. Indy had come off a dominating win on
Yeah.
Saturday in just right in the middle of the playoff race. Um, Buying low, selling high. You had to bet it. It actually got to 2.5 yesterday. That's what I got it at. Falcons +2.5. I got a couple worries, and now we know Taylor Heineke is going to be playing. And so since the announcement of him playing in place of Desmond Ridder, a quarterback, this line has moved to Atlanta -1. So you kind of lost it. We're not going to play it in the contest because we're afraid of that stat where teams go from being an underdog to a favorite and betting on them at that number. Um, Here are my biggest worries for this game. The Colts rushing defense has gotten much, much better since Grover Stewart came back from his PED suspension. And I'm very worried about this Atlanta offensive line and their health. We know Caleb McGarry didn't play. I'm looking last week. We're looking for good updates on Lindstrom, Chris Lindstrom, Drew Dahlman, Jake Matthews. It's a very good offensive line. Less good if they're not playing. Less good if they're trying to run the ball against Grover Stewart and an improving Colts rush defense.
Yeah, and you just said it, like the value might shift here to the Colts. If this gets up to +2, +2.5 for the Colts, how does this not end up in our contest? Like, who the hell is Atlanta and Heineke to getting that many points? But yeah, I'll take a small mini victory lap where I shitted on Ritter for I don't know 7 months of the offseason and took a lot of heat from Atlanta fans saying I don't know shit. My insiders are wrong, and it's like this Atlanta, they're with this guy every day. They saw him practicing every day. If your front office doesn't believe in your quarterback, but in the draft, that should be huge red flags to your team heading into the season. And it's played out that way. It's like this kid, he's just not good, Ritter. So Heineke being worth 3.5 points is insane. Like I can't believe it's moved that much off Heineke news. Um, Colts are just a really well coached team. Like it's I think Coward is one that talked about it. It's like the shift in the NFL to go with the offensive guys. It's
Yep.
these exact is this exact example of this Colts team. Like if they had a DC, a defensive coordinator was their head coach, this team might have 3 or 4 wins, right? Like as soon as their number one quarterback went down, their season would have been over. But they got an offensive guy, and he's made the whole system work around Minshew, and he's really highlighted Minshew's strengths. Um, yeah, Chad's right. Like I wanted to be on Atlanta here. The number might move too much. If it gets up to 2.5, I'm probably going to be on the Colts. Like this will be too much movement for a Colts team that they're in every game. Like these two teams, it's like the Spider-Man meme. They're the exact same team. Like they just they're right there, the same level, right in the middle of the Colts could win their division. Same goes for Atlanta. It's like they're not that good, but they're in weak divisions and they're still playing for something. So yeah, this Colts number. I mean, it's +1, +1.5 at a couple of books, Chad. If we come back Thursday and this is 2.5, we're gonna be back in the Colts.
You know what we're going to be doing then, Simon? I believe in the industry they call that uh Milliman Middle.
I was wondering where you were going with that.